Do you want to diversify your investment portfolio and branch out into real estate, but you just don't have that deposit to put down on a property, or you don't want to have a mortgage, you don't want to have to deal with landlords, tenants, fees, repairs? I've got a way you can do it, and that is through a real estate investment trust, or REIT for short. I'll take you quickly through in this video what is a REIT, what are the different types of REITs, what are the pros and cons, and whereabouts can you actually get a REIT from. Welcome back, and if you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Mark of Desperately Seeking Fi. What is a REIT? A REIT is like a holding company for real estate, and that can be many different types of real estate that I'll talk about in a second. The portfolio of properties owned by a REIT are often within specific sectors that generate income from rents or interest on the property, and by law they must pay that money back to the shareholders, and there's a nice little figure in there of 90% must come back to the shareholders in the form of dividends. What are the key features of a UK REIT? So the company must be carrying out a property rental business. A REIT is exempt from corporation tax, both on the rental incomes and gains on any sales of the properties that they have. There is withholding tax on the property income distributions, and that basically means the tax gets passed on to the investor. So as you get your dividends, there is a withholding tax on there. There are certain conditions that a REIT must adhere to reserve its REIT status, and that is property rental business must be 75% of the REIT's profits and assets, and it must have at least 3 properties in the portfolio. The parent company must be UK resident, and 90% of the property income profits must be redistributed every year to the stakeholders. And the parent must also be admitted to trade on a recognised stock exchange, for example, the London Stock Exchange. 2 different categories of REITs. There is the equity REIT and the mortgage REIT. For the equity REIT, you're looking at most of the revenue coming from rents on properties that they own, and about 90% of all REITs tend to be equity REITs and use this approach. The equity REIT is seen as being slightly more stable than the mortgage REIT. For major types of equity REITs, first of all, retail REITs, and this is basically shopping centres, and they earn money from the rents from the tenants. Office REITs, so we're looking at commercial buildings, we are looking at office space, and we're looking at things like government buildings. And they tend to be in urban areas where there is continual growth going on. What we find with these is we tend to have a slightly longer lease period between 3 and 10 years, tying in the tenants. On the residential REITs, very similar, looking at urban areas, and the kind of things that we are looking at are service accommodation and student accommodation, where they are close to urban populations or universities. And then final major one is that of the healthcare REIT, and this covers a wealth of things from nursing facilities, hospitals, doctors' surgeries, retirement homes, and these tend to have a slightly higher dividend payout than the other types. Mortgage REITs, the way that these work are they purchase existing permanent mortgages, high interest, and make money off of their interest payments. These are seen as being slightly more volatile because if you think about it, we have just seen interest rates go up quite considerably, so there is a greater risk and potentially lesser profits to be made by the mortgage REITs. What are the pros and cons of owning REITs? I suppose one of those big pros of owning a REIT is it adds to your portfolio diversification. It is getting you into real estate, and it allows you to spread your risk because you're going into a different sector. You do get a guaranteed distribution. It is set in legislation that 90% of their net income must come out as dividends. Long-term performance looks reasonably good for the REIT sector. It is a great way of looking at having a long-term investing strategy. I suppose one of the biggest things going for the REIT is its low barrier to entry. If you think about it, to buy a property, you would have to have your deposit, you would have to have your stamp duty, you would have to have all your conveyancing fees, you then need to do your repairs, etc., etc. You can buy into a REIT for as little as something like £1 if you're using a platform such as Trading 212. I've got a video link down below on Trading 212 as an investing platform if you want to have a look. The final one that I'm going to throw in as a advantage of owning a REIT is liquidity. If you think about it, if you have lots of your money tied up in bricks and mortar, how long does it take to sell that property? Months. And I think just read something saying the average sale price towards the end of 2022 was 5 months. With a REIT, you can almost instantaneously get your hands on the cash that is tied up in a REIT. I'm going to throw in a bonus advantage. They do pay dividends, and some of them even pay monthly. All of those pros, one of the cons. I suppose one of the larger cons is you get taxed on your REIT dividend income. Hence why having it within a tax wrapper of an ISA would be hugely beneficial. Got some stuff linked down below to a video on ISAs. Industry performance. I suppose, what did we see during COVID? We saw people working from home. So we saw that office REIT sort of fall apart. Also, student accommodation got severely hit with everybody moving to online classes. But who benefited during that period? The healthcare REITs did really well during that period. So there's that industry performance side of things. So where can you get your hands on there's so much choice. Even just in the UK, there are over 50 REITs with market capitalisation of over 70 billion. Some often with wonderful names like Edison Property Investment Company, and that is EPIC is the ticker for that company. So you can choose to buy a UK-based REIT, you could go for one in the US, or if you believe that the emerging markets is where the growth is going to be in the future, you could look at some of those emerging market companies, be it China, India, or even potentially Brazil. But there is lots of choice. You could choose to go down that individual route. I have a couple myself, so I do actually have EPIC. I also have Primary Health Properties. Another REIT that I'm invested into is Realty Income, which is a US-based S&P 500 company and is known as being the monthly dividend company. Or you could go for just an ETF similar to UK RE, which is looking at the iShares UK Real Estate ETF. As with all investing, it comes down to what you are looking to achieve. So it's all to do with what your risk appetite is, what your goals are. Go away, have a quick look and see whether you wish to go down just individual REIT routes or whether an ETF that covers a wider basket of REITs is better for you. They do pay great dividends, but also do a bit of due diligence and just make sure that there is some growth there at least, because what you don't want is a 15% dividend while the company is just dropping constantly, because at some stage there is going to be a cut in that dividend, and if you're relying on it, you are then stuffed. I'm going to do some further videos on REITs where I'm going to do a little detailed dive into different REITs and some ETFs. If that's something you're interested in, please drop a comment down below and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.